And Scott, the layoffs continue. SEGA is selling Relic Entertainment and cutting 240 jobs in Europe. Will it ever end, buddy? Will it ever end? Tom Ivan over VGC.
Anytime soon.
All right, it sure feels that way. SEGA has announced plans to sell Relic Entertainment and cut 240 jobs in Europe. Vancouver, Canada-based Relic specialists in real-time strategy games, including the company Heroes, Age of Empires, and Homeworld series. SEGA said it is selling Relic to a holding company to be newly established by the UK investment company Imona Capital LLP, but the further details weren't being disclosed due to the request of the transferee. The majority of the 240 cuts will be made at Creative Assembly and SEGA Europe, with a smaller number also being cut at SEGA Hardlight, all three of which are based in the UK. Following a review of the medium-term lineup of its European studios, SEGA also said it has decided to, quote, implement write-downs of work in progress of some titles in development, end quote. As a result, it expects to record a loss of, you ready for this? $31 million as a cost of sales, Scott. Yikes.
Ouch.
Yeah, exactly. Quote, SEGA is working closely with Relic on this shift, and we wish them the best for the future, end quote. Newly appointed SEGA Europe said Jurgen Post told staff via gamesindustry.biz. Quote, I want to sincerely apologize for the worry and understandable distress this news will cause, particularly for those directly affected. These decisions have been incredibly tough to make, and they follow meticulous consideration and deliberation with leadership teams across the business. Change is necessary to secure the future of our games business and to ensure that we are well placed to deliver the best possible experiences to our players going forward. We need to streamline, focus on what we're good at, and position ourselves as best we can for the road ahead. In order to do that, we need to respond to the changing economic landscape and the challenges we're facing in the way we develop our products and bring them to the market, end quote. SEGA Europe.
Man, I'm so tired of that PR
right?
paragraph right there. You see the same thing. It's almost like Chat GPT throws it out.
Pretty well. SEGA Europe laid off 121 employees at Relic in May of 2023, and last September, following the cancellation of some projects of its European studios, including Creative Assembly's Hyenas. It cut a further 250 jobs. Scott, just doesn't seem to end anytime soon, does it?
No, and this is not just people's lives, but it's also different properties, different projects being shut down. It's all just bad news for everybody. And when will it end? It's certainly going to be after a whole long, dark tunnel.
Yeah.
I don't see the light yet.
It has slowed down this year. Like, this year started off hot with more layoffs. It was like, this sucks. 2023 ended on a gigantic, massive layoff of studios, companies, this, that, and the other. And then 2024 led into that as well. Just kind of continued on the ending of 2023. But then I feel like the last month, we seem to be covering this less, which is refreshing. Yeah. But then to see this come up by SEGA, man, okay. Business is business. I know the landscape has definitely changed. But at the same time, man, a $31 million loss. Whew. And I wonder, what was so bad about Hyenas, do you think, that they had to scrap that altogether?
I wonder. I think it was just, maybe it was... It would have blended in with the genre too much and not stood out. Didn't have enough on its own.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, man. It's just maybe by the end of 2024, we don't have to talk about layoffs anymore.
Really hoping so.
She's getting worse. She's dying.
Let me be